U.S. President Donald Trump announces that a martial law type order after invoking an Insurrection Act of 1807. Rumors are circulating online President Donald Trump will invoke the Insurrection Act. And basically what's going to happen then is the military will take over all internal affairs. And basically Donald Trump, after doing the Insurrection Act, will allow him to have control over, the vicinity of all people. There's nobody that can tell him anything. That means like the government, he's the ultimate authority, almost like a dictator. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't feel kindly about that.
Man, that stuff's bad, bro. If he takes away, if Donald Trump, if that falls through, that means he's gonna take away all the cops, everything. It's gonna be. That means stores are gonna shut. That means everywhere you can't go out past 10 o'clock. That means you're gonna be in your house all day. People are gonna get stressed out, bro. This is gonna be like a war zone.
Right, definitely. And I feel like if he does that, it's gonna shut down the southern borders. Not only that, is that it's gonna allow people to the police and the government to seize all weapons that are owned by every single American. That means that your guys' amendments are getting taken away. Those amendments are no longer applicable to anybody or anything. So that means they can walk in there and seize all of your weapons. And it's not like it's like something that wasn't foreseen, because like you gotta imagine, like everybody's always tripping off with the gun laws and the gun acts, and people are shooting each other up and all this stuff's going on. So I mean, everything coordinates into the same situation, because all it takes is a little bit of situational awareness, and people will start to see that our own actions are what's honestly leading into people making these ultimate decisions. So what do you think?
Man, it's gonna be bad. That means you ain't gonna be able to go nowhere. Everything's gonna be blocked off.
You need papers for everything.
It's gonna be bad. I don't even think the banks are gonna be open.
Right, exactly. People that have cash currency, they rely on putting their money in banks. That currency is gonna be put on hold. You're not going to be able to withdraw any of that. If you have electronic currency, you're not going to be able to get a hold of that. And that's why, honestly, like most people that are smart, they save their money. They have their money at home in their own safe. They have their weapons at home in their safes. So it's not accessible by anybody but them. And so I feel like, that's the smartest way to live, is to have the cash on hand, start buying food, and preparing for the worst. Because, like, literally, like, April 420 is in 2 days. So it's like, honestly, it's going to be a dramatic thing if that really does happen. And to be honest with you, I'm going to flee the country as fast as possible. I'm hopping on the first boat out of here.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm getting out of here. Hey, stuff's going to hit the fan real quick, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, if I got to go up towards Canada, you know what I'm saying? I'm headed that way, like.
Yeah, Canada, you didn't hear about that? Canada's talking about turning off our lights.
Right, yeah. They control 90% of the power grid that is America's power grid. So if they were to shut that down, basically that would just put us back into a recession time, and basically nobody would do anything. All your cell phones wouldn't work. Your cell phone towers ain't working. You got no power. The power that's generated is what also be used for our irrigation systems, how we get our water, our clean water. They control everything that's from up there. So it's like, if they shut that down, ultimately America's going to turn into a third world country.
Oh yeah, wartime.
Right. Facts. From there, next, I want to talk about Elon Musk, and I don't know if anybody's heard about this, but Elon Musk, there's been like a new topic about him and his vehicles being undercover, racist, or like if you looked at the Tesla symbol, they say if you flipped it upside down, it looks like a KKK symbol.
KKK.
Right, and if you really do look at it, it really does look like the hooded man with the sharp tip pointed hat. You know what I'm saying? And then it shows like the little holes that are the eyes right there and everything. And it's crazy because like one day I was driving in Sac, bro. And check this out. I was driving in Sac and I seen some lady with a Tesla, right? And she had the sticker on her car. It was a bumper sticker. Covered up the Tesla symbol. And she says, and it said on the sticker, it says, "Sorry, we bought this vehicle before we knew Elon was crazy." Like.
That's some crazy stuff.
Right. That's wild, bro. Like, could you imagine, bro? Like somebody like that just. You look up to this man, and then all of a sudden
he's KKK.
Out, right? Yeah, he's like a Ku Klux Klan member. Like he even went on live television with Donald Trump, and saluted people with a Nazi salute. And people want to say it's another salute. We all know, man, that boy Elon is an official KKK member, man. And from there, I just, I want to wrap it up with that right there, and I'm going to call this episode a wrap. And I'm Versace.
I'm Tom.
And this is the Versace and Tom Show. We're going to keep it there with you every single time. Tap in.